What's up, cousins? It's DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. I need you guys to come in, join the discussion, become a subscriber if you are not already, and make sure your notification bells are on so that you don't miss a thing. What's up, cousins? It is your girl, DYANAROZAY, and I'm here to bring you guys this late night, night owl session of RHOA, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Baby, they told us that it was going to be a big upset. Andy Cohen came out ahead of the episode and said, oh, it goes dark. It goes really dark. You know what I'm saying? I have to say this. For me, this was one of the best episodes of the season because Shamea and K. Michelle have been grinding my damn nerves. I kid you not. Every time I just kept saying, what is going on? What am I watching? Why do these grown women with children, and not just any children? I mean, listen, I want to say this up front because I saw someone put something in the chat. I heard a little earlier today that some of these women make $30,000 an episode. Okay, $30,000 an episode. And even though this is reality TV, it's still TV. These people sign their names on contracts. Okay, nobody goes and picks them up. It's not slave labor. $30,000 an episode. This is shit that they do. It might be some feelings now, but then it flies away because, baby, let me tell you something. I put $30,000 in my bank account to have a little moment like this. It's done. They're on vacation right now. Porsha's in the Bahamas right now. This show was filmed umpteen months ago. So I don't want anybody to, get all upset and act a fool and stuff like that. I want y'all to be able to say what you feel. Okay. In fact, I'll even invite your ass up if you'd like to come up. I'm going to get through with my review, but if you'd like to come up and share your feelings, that's fine. Say what you want to say. And remember, $30,000 an episode. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So go on ahead and stop taking up for these folks that volunteer to have these interactions in these moments. It might not be ideal for them at the time, but when that check hit the bank, I promise you, all that shit goes away. It all goes away. And if it doesn't, they shouldn't be here. Okay. So I'm going to start with that, just as, just a fair warning for everyone. And I do want to welcome everybody. What's up, Lies More Lies? I haven't seen you in a little while. Thank you for coming through, girl. Okay. The LOL. Nice to have you. Who else do we have? Is that, I don't know if I can see the name. I'm so sorry, child. I am half blind. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's Sharna Mosley. I think that's how it's pronounced. Sorry about that, Sharna. Let me give you your flowers, honey. I got Dory. Dory's in the house. Welcome, girl. Welcome, girl. I saw somebody's mama earlier. What's up, somebody's mama? Nice to have you. You said volunteer. Let me see. Volunteer. Why one got a rich husband, but she doesn't want to be at home? I don't know. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am working off of my hotspot. I don't know if y'all can see that green button at the top. But for whatever reason, I can't get my internet up. So hopefully y'all will let me know if you can't hear me or something, because baby, it's ghetto over here. I don't know why we don't have internet. Oh my goodness. What is up, Teresa? I mean, I have it on my phone, which is why I got the hotspot, but I don't have it anyplace else. Hey, Teresa. Teresa's one of my members. Y'all know how I feel about my members. I appreciate you supporting me. Thank you for coming through. If you'd like to become a member, you can. There is a link at the top of the chat. You said, I'm here to be messy. Be messy, baby. Be messy. We all about to be messy up in this. Because let me tell you something. A person who, as you pointed out, Lies More Lies, a person who has racks on racks on racks on racks, can take a vacation wherever they want, whenever they want. It don't even have to be a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Can get a new Bentley every month, every week if they chose to. Okay. She said her husband is the number one air conditioner man, not for, homes and trailer parks and shit, for big industrial buildings like airports and, sky rises and things like that. That's an architect. That is somebody who understands how things work. They pay big money for that. That person who has I'm assuming, a loving family and a husband at home, all the things, yeah, you wouldn't subject yourself to this if it's a burden, if it hurts your heart, if you think it's too much. You would never put yourself in these kind of situations, because really you just can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care who you are. You could be a employee at McDonald's. When the shit gets too much, you quit. That's just what it is. I used to do human resources for a long time, damn near 20 years. People don't quit jobs, they quit people. When you leave a job, it's because there's a bitch or a manager or a boss, somebody you can't stand. That's why you quit. Otherwise, you could shovel shit all day, every day, and not think twice about it. If the people that you worked with, you actually liked, you actually respected, you would never subject yourself to that. And you will walk out in the middle of a season if that's what you really felt. Because right now, people are making Shamea half Lulu to me. Like, oh my God, she just doesn't know any better. And she's not a pro like Porsha. Oh, yes, she is. She's more of a pro with Porsha than any of us. She knows Porsha better than any of us. She knows her inside and out. She knows her temperament. She knows her mood. She knows when to strike. She knows when to pull back. She knows all of that. Promise you. It's us who she's playing on. It's our tops that she wants to play on to make us think, oh my God, I'm just this nice little lady. No, you're not, baby. You're no different than Porsha. You are no different than Porsha. Every time, for the last couple of episodes, we have all seen Shamea in this position right here, shaking, grinding, humping every goddamn thing, the arm on the couch, the recliner, shot o'clock, all the things. Now all of a sudden she is a damsel in distress for someone she's known for over 2 decades, really 3, because it sounds like they were friends when she was a kid, in like 9-10 years old. They weren't close then, but their families vacationed together. Okay, this is what she delivered over there on Carlos King's channel. Oh, when we were young, we weren't that friends, even though our mothers would vacation together and we would all be together. But she had her group and I had my group. And I didn't become friends until she married who? Cordell Stewart. Then all of a sudden, Porsha became appealing to her. Everybody who keeps saying Porsha is jealous of her life, she sought out Porsha and wanted to be her friend when she was what? Married to a football player. That's what she said on the show. That's how I heard it anyway. I was like, oh, that's different. That's different. Come on in. So for me, I was shocked. But the way Shamea has twerked her way into the hearts of everybody watching this show, of a lot of people watching this show, and y'all don't even see that these are 2 peas in a pod day of the same cloth, same coin, of anything else. And there's one who's just a little more seasoned in the I don't give a fuck department, while the other one is acting like she's crushed at every syllable anybody says, when the truth of the matter is, a woman of Shamea's age, what is she, 44, 45 years old, 2 children, 3 children, one who is going to need care for all of their life. You know what you don't have is time for the bullshit. And that's the truth. When something is irking your nerves, so the same way we see Angela, you can hate Angela all you want to, but at the end of the day, she stands on her shit, even if she's wrong as 2 left shoes. You don't see her run, oh my God, these girls are hurting me. She's about the same. In fact, she is the same age as all of them. Shamea is the only one who gets butt hurt, get her little cry angle. Mom, I apologized and they're treating me different. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm going to tell you right now, somebody's big mama, grandmama, auntie would have yoked your ass up so quick and said, girl, I don't ever want to see you crying over another woman that is as hairy as fucking you. When you have kids who depend on you, who need to see you standing the fuck upright, you got too much for that. There's just some things that don't make sense. And I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm so sorry. But again, she makes too much money for me to be soft in this. And I am being soft for that much. You know what I'm saying? But to be soft in this arena, Shamea is nobody's punk, pussy, whatever you want to call it. She knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. We have seen her as a friend of this show way swifter than what she's trying to make herself out to be now. She's looking for an opportunity, and that's it. And I don't give a damn if Porsha did say to her friend when she thought they were friends, girl, you got the Hawks, you got your movies, you got your singing deal. What I don't care what she said to her. Could you let this be my shit, my friend group? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if she did say that. The truth of the matter is, Shamea has said on multiple occasions that her husband didn't even want her on this show. In fact, when I was talking about it early, that's all I used to see in my comment section. Her husband don't want to be on the show and respect her husband. Well, she needs to respect her damn husband. Why would you bring your nasty ass on this show with all the skeletons you got in your closet? Because baby, for as much as you said about the mamas, I know just as much could be said about you, because there's no way those two ladies could be as friends for as long as they were, because both Porsha's mama and Shamea's mama vicariously lived through their daughters, looking at them like, bitch, I used to look like that. I used to be that fine. Okay, to the club, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm game, I'm going. They both do it. I think Porsha's mama might be sitting her ass down a little more. It's Shamea's mama who was said to be at the club just a little, just a few weeks ago. It was Shamea's mama who was at the club. Okay? But they both do it. And that says a lot. And also, Shamea, you coming up here acting like your mother and father is just like, don't do anything wrong kind of shit. Yo mama and daddy is a product grown folk in the 80s and the 90s, okay? And y'all know they had them big ass cell phones in the 80s and the 90s. Not just a big cell phone, but them stupid ass pages that you're supposed to hit 911. And if y'all don't know, go look it up, okay? If you were a younger crowd, the way women were used and abused, maybe not of the mothers and grandmothers era above that, but anything went, and you had to fight your fucking way out of it, especially if the man had some money or whatever the case may be. I can see Porsha's mama over there and Daddy Shamea, whatever his name is, Daddy Morton, eyeballing her, okay? Okay? Eyes getting as wide as saucers. Walking behind her. Oh, excuse me, so he can rub his shit against her. I can see all of that. That's what they used to do. They nasty. Okay? Now, he might have slowed down a little bit, and usually when men look old and gray and shit, you can't even imagine that they used to be dirty old bastards. But that's the case. That man was a trucker. That was the family business that she talked about. Her dad was a trucker. Over the road, her mama owned daycares. That was the story she shared with us. The idea that they didn't do anything or was smoking weed or whatever the case may be. Okay. I'm giving this all as alleged, but that was the mamas and daddies of the 90s and the 80s. Okay. And it is what it is. I don't care. I hate that she even brought that shit up, because it wasn't her story to tell, making it seem like that's what's wrong between us. What went on with your mother, father, and her mother of which, by the way, they seem to have gotten over as late as 2022 and 2025 when your mother was on her channel saying Diane will forever be my friend. She's a nice woman. Well, Shamea, again, this is what makes you look horrible. Why would you tell that story like Porsha's mama somehow damn near broke up your whole fucking family, okay, made you an orphan or some shit, when your mama is out here praising Diane, praising her. And in 2022, when Porsha threw your ass a birthday party, your mama was in the same room with her mama. Y'all took a picture together. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know all Black mamas, but I know mine. And there ain't no way in hell that would have happened. None. 0%. Zero. Okay? In fact, I couldn't even trick my mama into coming over there knowing that somebody she couldn't stand was there. She'd been about me all upside the head. What the fuck do you think this is? And your mama and Porsha's mama smiling, posing, okay? Being the cat's meow for the photo. What is happening, Shamea? That is what I mean when I say Shamea be playing on people's tops. And I don't know how everybody got here. I don't know how everybody got here. But baby, I'm so sorry. Kudos to her for making this show interesting as hell, because Sunday night was still a 10 out of 10 for me. But not because I thought she was being abused and used at all. Porsha was standing on her own 2 feet before Shamea came on as a friend of this show or had a peach. It's Shamea who is literally making her storyline Porsha, because nobody gives a damn about what's going on in her household or with her husband or the surrogate or whomever else. The girl don't have any real problems. She got too much money to have too much problems, okay? Outside of the ones that Porsha just gave her tonight. If she would like to discuss those in the next season, cool. Who's the minister you fucking? Who's the manager you fucking? Those are the stories. But outside of that, you don't have no problems that no one else can relate to, or you know what I'm saying, want to follow every week. It is a 1 episode story. That is all you've had all season long. Okay? Tears and 1 episode stories. That's it. Nothing that nobody can follow, except for the fact that every time you were in the room with Porsha, you look heartbroken. You look heartbroken. Oh my God, it's cold in here. Okay, it's cold in the A. I don't know what's going on, but I just need people to snap out of it. Sounds like she's trying to make her mother her sidekick versus her husband since he doesn't want to film. Possibly. I don't know. But I am about to play these videos just to make sure that we all on the same page. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's listen. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find that you had more in common with some of the ladies versus the other ones?
Oh my God, let me tell y'all. Well, first of all, Porsha's mom, Diane, she's my friend. She'll always be my friend. She's a sweetheart too.
Porsha's mom, Diane, is my friend. She'll always be my friend. She's a sweetheart too. Did y'all see the date? I had the date circled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find that you had more in common with some of the ladies versus the other ones?
Oh my God, let me tell y'all. Well, first of all, Porsha's mom,
May 7th, 2025.
Diane, she's my friend. She'll always be my friend. She's a sweetheart too.
That's not all. Let's look at this other pic. You see this? Porsha, her good friend Shamea. And take a look. It's Shamea's mama who's standing behind Porsha, and it's Porsha's mama who's standing in front of Shamea. That's how cool they was, okay? And that is also recent. recent. Okay, hold on. Let me get the other stuff. Are y'all following me on IG? You should be. Make sure you follow me on IG, okay? Let's look. Who is this? This was taken on May 13th, 2022. Y'all seeing the picture? That's Candy Yams, Shamea, and Porsha. Porsha threw her good friend a birthday party. And despite the fact that everybody keeps saying, well, everything, Porsha did that to Candy. Candy made up with Porsha the next fucking day. She said, I don't give a damn, even though I should be mad at her. It wasn't her. It was all Phaedra. She doesn't even blame Carlos King. She said she puts it all on Phaedra. And if y'all remember the episode where her and Phaedra sit down and they talk about why they weren't really close anymore, it was because of the husbands and what was going on, but there was something they refused to say. And then Porsha and Phaedra both say to each other, I know things about you that can ruin you. And I think Phaedra said it first, and Candy said, bitch, and I know things about you too. We know things about each other. And they left it at that. And sometimes we give these people too much. Just because they don't get caught doing something doesn't mean they don't have dirt going on. Porsha and Phaedra both called each other out during that scene and said, we know too much about each other, so I'd rather not talk at all than drag you through the coals. Now, at least they had enough respect for each other to leave it there. You know what I'm saying? But that's how that went, okay? But these two, Porsha and Candy, stayed friends. Candy and her mama, Shamea, the babies is there. Porsha, look at Shamea's baby is in the corner. Picture with the mamas. I don't know who that is. And then that's of course Shamea and her hubby. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Yes, ma'am. That's not all. Let's talk about what bomb just dropped a little earlier. He said Candy was mad at Phaedra because of Todd and his business dealings with Phaedra. Candy was mad at Phaedra because of Todd and his business dealings. And there was something also going on with Apollo that we, the public, wasn't made completely aware of. You kind of had to read between the lines, but Phaedra was implying that Candy and Todd were doing some things with Apollo, and she didn't, at the time, Phaedra didn't 100% trust Apollo because he had gotten her into some trouble. She, is an officer of the court. She's an officer of the court. She's married to a man who has just done some shit that's a felony that could have gotten her license snatched, that could have gotten her investigated. There was a whole lot of stuff going on, and she did not like whatever they might have known about their relationship. She didn't want Candy to reveal some things. And so she was like, baby, you better keep your fucking mouth shut because I know some things about you too. And that's where Candy was like, and you sent the feds to my house? Child, that was a horrible season. That was a horrible season. And I really like Phaedra and Candy's friendship. Like, you could tell they were friends for a long time. But they were trying to take, at one point, they were at each other. And then Phaedra said, I'd rather just knock your ass all the way out with that story she told. It was a lie and she invented it. Okay, she invented it. But let's talk about what Candy, my bad, what Porsha just posted, okay? A little bit ago. Yes, y'all got to pay attention to these ladies. All of them waddle in the mud every once in a while. Nobody's clean. They all do it. Even though some of them are a little more, they cover their tracks a little more than others, but they all do it. Okay. So anyway, Porsha Williams is out there in the Bahamas with her girlfriend, Sway. And I guess, her mom might be upset that her reputation is being dragged through the mud A lot of people are saying, bitch, I absolutely believe you tried to break up that woman's happy home, you nasty, slutty hoe. Like, people are calling Porsha's mama all kinds of names, okay? Anyway, I guess Porsha got wind of it, even though she tried to escape before the episode happened. And then she decided to answer. So she said this. She said, wait, just catching up here in the Bahamas, all lies. She knows she left because she didn't want the smoke of the episode. But she said, yo, I can't believe there are actually people talking about my mother in all caps and mentioning my daughter in a negative way. Was this really worth it? Shamea took this way too far. You're not innocent while you got people discussing my mom because of a lie you told on this show. If we're going to discuss it, keep it between us. Now, let's discuss you sleeping with your manager, who is a married man and one of your high school friends, by the way. So she is definitely sending a hint to Gerald, as well as a pastor in Decatur, and 100% on your roster, along with many more. So clearly, Porsha wants the public to know that, listen, Shamea is out there getting it in, that maybe Gerald, ain't taking care of things at home. Whatever, you know what I mean? I could care less. I'm gonna tell you something. When I first saw Shamea, I like I said, she's very flirty. She seems to be very much in control of her body and sexuality. She puts it out there. When I saw her have that business meeting with someone she met on Instagram, okay, not even somebody her husband recommended to attend that business meeting she had for the folks in Grenada. And she got up and said, oh, yes, it's going to be the silhouette of my body and my ass. And she turned it around and she was like, I said, Shamea, what are you doing? I have never laughed so hard. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, things just happen. Baby. They all be lying. What is up, Erica? What's up, Miss B Carter? You said Porsha is lying. She does this when she doesn't have a comeback. I don't know if you missed what my opening, Miss B Carter, but go back and listen to it, because as someone who grew up in the 80s and the 90s and saw the video hoes and all that stuff, and now all these people that were a part of that era is, they got to answer for their sins. You know what I'm saying? We see P. Diddy right now is in prison for things he probably didn't even think about back then. He thought he was probably really untouchable. But it wasn't just in the music industry. It was all industry, medical industry, you name it. College, you name it. If you are a woman who grew up during that time, baby, pat yourself on the back that you made it the fuck up out of there. Okay. And if you did not get harmed, pat yourself on the back again that there was an angel or somebody on your shoulder, because you know what I'm saying? I cannot tell y'all, like, professors and all kinds of shit. I would literally, like, do I have to lock myself? And I'm not saying that like I'm fine or something. I'm just saying that people really they didn't have any scruples. There was just an era of time where men thought they can touch you any kind of way, do whatever they wanted to do, and you weren't supposed to say anything. I was listening. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I agree. If you sent a cease and desist to Angela, for asking the question, did you fuck Charles? Then what you did, because again, Shamea does this thing where she's like, I'm so high moraled, this is just so shocking. Why would you say this? Oh, I'm nice. I apologize. And then the things that come out of your mouth is just as egregious. You do the same thing, heifer. You aren't different. You just find a way to ease your shit in another way where you want to act like you got tears in your eyes and you're being a victim, but you're doing the same exact shit. You are playing the same exact game. You're just doing it in a way that wins for you, because clearly, Shamea, like I said, I would think that a woman of your age who's experienced some things, who has an older husband, much older than you, at least he appears to be, who have children, one that you, like I said, you have to, make provisions for the rest of her life. You don't have time. Your brain should think different. Your brain should move different. And there's some shit you're not going to deal with. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? The OGs back in the day, the Nene Leaks, the Charades, you would never get an opportunity to steal one off on them without them laying your ass out flat. Shamea lets you do it, giggles about it, and then makes everybody feel guilty. Why is everybody harming? Why am I hurt? Girl, bye. You hang around way too many men. Whatever's going on over there at the basketball games and shit, you hang around way too many men not to know how to handle yourself. And if you can handle yourself you can handle yourself with a bitch. And that's all there is to it. I don't care. Those are my feelings. Okay. I'm standing on it. Now, I went on a tirade for a second, but let's get to this show. This is season 17, episode 14. I'm going to jog y'all memory on some things before we get into the episode, because I just want you to see again how people play on your top. Okay. When the season opened, who had a party at their house? Simon's house, right? Who had a party? It was Porsha. Porsha has this huge dinner party, and she invites Shamea. Even though her and Shamea had fallen out publicly on social media, we didn't get to see the texts that went back and forth between them, but apparently they were fucked up, right? But we remember Porsha having a birthday party for her daughter. I remember Shamea's daughter was not invited to that party because we saw Candy's daughter go, and both of Candy's kids, actually, the young ones, they all went. I remember Shamea saying happy birthday, PJ, on her IG page. Y'all know PJ don't have a goddamn IG page. So she was really saying it publicly to let all of us know that she's going to celebrate PJ's birthday, even though Porsha exiled her, did not invite her, and did not invite her child. And I remember everybody that knows the two of them, from Dennis to Candy Yams to Porsha's sister, they all got under Shamea's post and was like liking it and saying, yes, happy birthday, PJ, because they wanted them to fix it, to mend it. And Porsha didn't even look at that shit. Fuck you, fuck that post, right? But we know that the post went dark and that all hell broke loose. That was right after the reunion had aired and all the stuff went down between the two of them, right? Right after that. We weren't made privy to what they said to each other, but we know it was dark. But when the season opens, Porsha has this party and she invites Shamea. And Shamea is at home. First, she begs Gerald, are you coming? And he was like, fuck no. Nope. I got to work. I don't even know if I'm in town. No. Okay. So we know that whatever went down, Gerald said, I don't care if you can't stand on business. I will. Porsha. He doesn't want to be in any space she's in. That's what it looks like to me. Not just that he doesn't want to film, because we've seen him film with other things. He doesn't want to be in the same room with Porsha. There's a lot of shit that was said, and I'm sure Porsha brought up some shit that Shamea showed her husband and made him a part of, and now he can't fuck with her. And that's what it looked like to me. This is what I think, because I know how these relationship fights work when you are fighting with a friend. When you're fighting with a friend, your husband will say, I'm staying out of this shit unless you make him a part of that shit, okay? I have gotten in fights with friends where I've gone into my husband's phone and I'm blocking her, I'm blocking him, her boyfriend, nobody can call them, okay? I don't care if they get a flat tire. I don't care. If I'm not talking to him, you're not talking to him. And that's what it appeared to be to me. because we've seen her. You want to come, babe? No, no, absolutely not. But in that episode, we see Shamea get ready at the last minute. She wants to arrive late, the way Porsha arrived late to that birthday party. And we see Pinky and her husband show up at Shamea's house. And the first thing she said was, I shouldn't even fucking be here. I don't even know why I'm getting ready. You want to know why? Because them text messages, she lets us in on that. Those text messages were so bad. I don't know if she's going to hurt me when I get there. I remember her saying that, like, shit got so bad between them that if she arrives, she doesn't know if it's a setup to get shanked, is how she put it. And I just want to bring this in because for her to end up saying the shit she said at the end, why wouldn't you trust me? Bitch, you said you didn't trust her in episode 1. That was the first episode of the season. What are you doing, Shamea? You constantly act like people are lying and contradicting themselves, and you lie and contradict yourself too. It is what it is, but you do it. The fact that you act like you don't is what's flooring me. And the fact that you don't have anybody in your life to say, well, Shamea, shit, the reason why I know y'all got a problem is because of you. Porsha didn't tell it to me. You told it to me. Porsha isn't friends with Kelly. She's not friends with Pinky like that. She's not friends with K. Michelle like that. But all of them know all of your business with Porsha because of you. And I get it. They got the clicks. Everybody has them. But nobody on Porsha's side, this is what I believe, nobody on Porsha's side, not Phaedra, at least not Phaedra, not Cynthia, and for the most part, not Drew when it comes to the other members. Drew has a problem with Shamea because of what went down last season. She also has a problem with K. Michelle because of what went down last season, right? She doesn't have a problem with Pinky, but everybody ignores the fact that Drew gives it to K. Michelle just like she gives it to Shamea. Oh, it's because of Porsha. No, she tells both Shamea and K. Michelle, kick rocks with no socks, bitch. I don't like y'all all the time. She is so consistent. It's crazy. Same thing with Angela. Very consistent. It's fuck you. I don't like you. I didn't like you last year. I heard what you said about my husband not loving me. Ho, what did you mean by that when you said you knew my husband, but you didn't know me? I told y'all that. I said she's too familiar with that woman's husband. She might want to slow her roll. And I don't know, maybe you don't have enough outside people looking into what you and Gerald got going on, but no woman wants to hear another woman tell her what's going on with her husband when y'all don't have no work relationship or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You are with me. And I don't like it. And she's told her that to her face, the reason why. But everybody keeps making it a Porsha issue. It's not a Porsha issue. Porsha knows enough dirt about Shamea that she can literally pull the trigger whenever she feels like it. She doesn't need minions the way Shamea has minions. Shamea has minions. They have all come to her defense at some point on the show. Nobody has ever come to Porsha's defense in the same way, other than to say, I want y'all to get along. That's what Porsha's side says. Shamea's side is, can I talk to you for a second? And did you do that on purpose? And it's none of your business. Stay the hell out of it. But just once again, when Shamea got to Porsha's house, she is the one who lets us know that things had gotten so bad between them that she was afraid to come to her house. She said she thought Porsha was going to hurt her. A hug? I was scared. I was scared she hugged me. We didn't know that. Porsha blows it the fuck off. She hugs her. Oh my God, I didn't really expect you to come. I'm happy you're here. She offered an olive branch. And when Shamea's messy fucking friend, Kelly, who was messy all season 16, when Porsha's mama said, beware the dog that carries the bone, it was because Shamea came to Porsha and said, oh, I just want you to know what Kelly said about your relationship. And Porsha's like, I don't need to hear that shit right now. And I don't need to hear from you. I don't know that little bitch. I don't know her. Okay. But when Porsha's mama said, beware the dog that carries the bone, and that's all she said, and Porsha did not add to that, she didn't say shit. The next scene we get is Shamea sitting with Cynthia, the person who's always neutral, and saying, I don't know why Porsha's mama don't like me, and blah, 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 blah. And Cynthia was like, wait, I don't want to get all in your business. Cynthia literally stops her and said, girl, don't put me in that shit. Don't. That's what a friend does. I love you. I love Porsha. I know y'all got things to work out, but don't put me in the middle. Don't ask me to choose a side. I want both of you to work it out. That's what Cynthia did. And she did it again this season. And Shamea tried to show her the text. And she went, don't show me them fucking texts. Don't show me them texts. I don't want to get in your business like that. I'm just saying, is there any way? That is what the woman said. And you hated her every step of the way after that, because you didn't like that she wouldn't choose you, that she chose both of you. That's what jealousy looks like. That's what a bitch who's on a mission looks like. That's what happened there. In my opinion, that's what I saw. Okay. Now, after the party where she lets us know that Porsha and her fight was so bad. Oh, let me say this too, because when Little Bit said, oh, what's going on between you and Shamea? That's when Kelly was trying to be too damn nosy. And Porsha said, Shamea's like family to me. And even if we ain't cool right now, she could still say she's like a sister to me, because the truth of the matter is I've known her ass for decades, and I've known your ass since yesterday. And I'm not going to let you do to me what you did to Shamea last year. You know what I'm saying? When Shamea, every time Shamea sat down, what's going on with you and Porsha? And she was just fucking vomiting at the mouth, their business. Porsha told Kelly to mind her business. And that was what she was supposed to do. And Shamea should have took notes. In my opinion, that's how this season happened. But I say all of that to say that it was Shamea who lets us in on that. It's Shamea. And even if her mama did say, beware of the dog that carries the bone, she wasn't lying. You opened season 17 calling Kelly your BFFF. And then you let that lady say any and everything about Porsha, while Porsha was walking out on tiptoes with her finger up. I'm not going to let you talk about my ex-best friend. I'm not going to let you, I'm not giving you any type of damn quote on this subject. I don't care. I don't want to have a situation with Shamea. Shamea never gave Porsha that courtesy. And you want to know why? Because she was paranoid the entire season. She was paranoid, and she let us in on that little fact at the end of the episode when she said, your glam team told me that you said all gloves are off. You are a co-worker and you're going to tell all of her business. And Porsha looked at her and said, you a goddamn lie. And you let whatever that person told you, who gets paid, so they could have just been tricking you. So you using the same person for whatever, and did not know that that girl was not talking about you all season. But when you watch the shit back, you should be able to tell that she never did you dirty. They even have a cut scene where it was Pinky who was dogging your ass out. And Porsha lifts her eyebrows up and said, wow, I don't like you doing that. Like, you could tell that she was protecting you and taking up for you. And you never gave her the same courtesy. So I got to say, even though you know what I'm saying? Could Shamea come out of this? Maybe. I don't know. Because Porsha and Shamea have history. But for a person to be as grown as Shamea is, to have as much as Shamea has, I'm not buying that she is a weakling. I'm not buying that she just crumbles at anything. And, oh, I just had it up to here. Bitch, that's not true. If you had it up to here, you would have left the show. You would have left. You don't need that check. You don't need it. You can get them problems anywhere. Anywhere. You're an actor, a dancer, a singer. What else did Porsha say? You got the Hawks. please, you coming on that woman's platform to show your ass the way you did, to call out everybody the way you did, was just nasty work from top to bottom. And that is my feelings on it, period. All right. Now that I've given y'all this whole speech for about 45 minutes, I'm going to give y'all the rest of the shows. You said to me, the dirt between the ladies when Porsha's mom was messing around with Shamea's mom. Porsha had been moving foul ever since, lying. When you look at the story, I don't know if Porsha's lying, because if what happened between the two of them, between the mamas and the husband, happened when they were children, they would have been like 9 years old, maybe 11, but somewhere between then. But it's Shamea who said that their moms were still vacationing together. So what happened? Was your daddy drunk? Did he rub up on her mama and she giggled and that meant she was trying to fuck him? Because they continued their friendship, because the daycare that they're talking about didn't get sold until 2017. You can look it up. And I think it is on the House of Aaron. I think he was the one who broke it, but before he broke it a second time, because I think the first time it came by way of Sandra Rose, maybe. So the story had been out in 2017, and that wasn't even the biggest part of the story. The other part of the story was that one of the kids passed away. Someone passed away at one of the daycares that was owned by Porsha and her mama. That was all a part of the story. So when Porsha says everybody knows that story, she's not lying. It was a big to-do in the community. Everybody heard about it. Everybody did. And those two were still cool. And you can go back and look at the photos. I just showed it a little bit ago. In 2025, Shamea's mama said, I love Miss Dyana. She's still my friend. We friends. And they were taking pictures together as late as 2022 for Shamea's birthday party. So something about that story just doesn't curl all the way over. Not at all. So they both might be lying, or they both might be telling the truth, or they both might be telling the truth. But whatever went down wasn't so horrible, because that is an offense you don't forget. You don't fuck with those kind of people. But for whatever reason, for both Portia's mama and Shamea's mama, they found a way to get over the hump and be in rooms together and still call each other friend. So she had no right to bring that shit up at the table. No right. Did something happen? Absolutely. Clearly something happened. Both Shamea and Porsha acknowledge that, but not enough to put it on the table and say that's the reason why you and I don't fuck with each other. No, there was something else that isn't being told, or told just the right way. Okay? That's what I believe, because you just want to say something that's sensationalized to make somebody think, oh my God. But no. These mamas aren't even, they still fool with, or at least before this episode, they were still fooling with each other. Okay. But anyway, it's the second day in Scotland, you guys. And the first night, Porsha makes amends with Kelly. Y'all know that. Porsha makes amends with Kelly. Kelly isn't Porsha's friend, though. I think for all of us watching, seeing her, Porsha and Kelly, hug it out. I don't want to fight with you, and I don't want to fight with you. It was just a way to get the boulder off of your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of stuff that we both got to got going on in our personal lives. Let's just squash this beef. And if y'all remember, Porsha tried to squash the beef on the Sprinter bus with Kelly when they were in Dallas. It was Kelly who said, fuck you, let's never talk again. No, I don't want to be friends with you. But it was Porsha who said, I wish that you and I could have sat down and had that conversation by ourselves. But I don't want to be that person, and I want to be able to talk with you and apologize. It's Kelly who shuts her down on the bus. So it's not like Porsha didn't try to apologize to her before. She did. So for everybody who's like, oh, she just did it to get under her skin, she had already did it with everybody on the bus. She respected Kelly when she said, fuck you, no, I'm not talking to you. And she said, cool, I understand. I get it. Okay, so you have, I get it. People don't like one or the other. They have strong feelings for both of, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta, for me as a blogger, I gotta pay attention to both. I gotta pay attention to both. They have a lot of similar qualities, which is probably what made them friends. But I also think that they're very competitive. And I also think that Porsha's personality is more likable, and Shamea knows it. And she saw this as a way to get in there and, shake some shit up for Porsha. And it's not working in her favor, not the way she wants it to, in my opinion. Anyway, so in this situation, Porsha right now is being loved by everybody for bringing them here for this Scotland trip. We know that Porsha and Kelly squashed the beef, at least momentarily, because just they don't have, those are two personalities, even though Porsha initially said we got along great. Porsha knows that Kelly is not somebody she could trust because she knows how deep she's in with Shamea. But Shamea is going to feel some kind of way later, right? Anyway, Phaedra and Porsha arrange some sort of games day where they toss logs, play tug of war, things like that. All of the ladies are having bonding moments. They're all laughing and giggling with each other, including Porsha and Shamea. They did not skip a beat. You couldn't even tell that there was something, brewing between them. They all seemed to get along perfectly. It was a whole exercise, y'all know, those exercises to make sure everybody get along together. A bonding exercise. That was the point of it. And they actually all did really good. Nobody got into it with anybody, right? They're all laughing at each other's jokes. They're making jokes about themselves. K. Michelle's talking about her ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the hospital system works here. I don't want to go in there and have to explain this to somebody new. Y'all do this and, we'll figure it out later. So anyway, after all of that moment, they all decide to go back inside the castle for lunch to have another bonding moment, to sit, chat. They're feeling good. I guess Phaedra has had the chefs make some traditional foods and hors d'oeuvres, and they end up bringing some sort of lamb intestines and brains dipped in chocolate. I don't know, dipped in coconut. It looked like some sort of coconut caramel coating. I know I can never eat a coconut candy again. Coconut caramel coating with like a Hershey's kiss on top and some sort of chocolate pudding at the bottom. I don't know what it was, but they ended up telling them that it was brains and intestines of a baby lamb. Anyway, Porsha decided to take one for the team because everybody else was like, hell no, I am not eating that. Okay. But Porsha said, well, you only live once, and that's why we here. It's to experience the culture. So I am going to try one for all of you. And she could barely swallow it. She spit that shit out in her napkin, laid it on the table. She didn't even wrap it up. It just laid there like a gob of stuff on the table. And we saw, who did we see? It was K. Michelle. K. Michelle is on the side gagging, watching Porsha. She's gagging for Porsha. She didn't even eat it. I have never howled so much. That shit was hilarious to me. Anyway, Porsha was like, well, I guess we'll start drinking because I can't eat this. They all laugh. They're still having a good time. All the ladies are in a good mood, right? Cool. Now they are sitting at the lunch table, and the baby brains is back on the menu along with some other things, right? Again, y'all know Porsha just has a way. She's very witty. She's a witty woman. It is what it is, baby. Sometimes you can be witty. In the beginning, when we first saw Porsha got her ass reamed. I don't know if Shamea just didn't watch those seasons, but Porsha used to get dogged out all the time by damn near everybody for not seeming like she was too swift in the brain. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, when we talk about getting piled or dog piled on, Porsha is very witty. She's very funny. She has a good personality. She knows how to make people feel at home and comfortable, right? She's a key. She is a good time. But she's sitting here talking to everybody and making jokes. And she's even talking to her friend Shamea, or at least being cordial, which is the most you can fucking ask for. So she's not leaving her out of nothing, but she makes the comment to Kelly, who was in a bad way the other day. Hey girl, how you doing this morning? Right? And Kelly says, I'm good. Thanks for asking. And then you see Drew Sidor take over the conversation. Yes, girl, because we had a moment last night, right? And she's getting everybody up in a conversation because now people's wheels are spinning. Like, when did Porsha and Kelly get to a place where Porsha will be asking her how she's feeling? And she's answering her with a smile. Those hoes don't like each other, right? Did those bonding exercises, did that little tug of war game get y'all to this place? So they start asking what happened last night. And Drew tells it. Oh, it was me, Porsha, Phaedra, Cynthia. I think Angela might have been there. Hell, I don't know. They were all in the room together, and we was talking to Kelly and lifting her up because, baby, she was down, talking about her ex-husband, you know what I'm saying, trying to sue the network, get her fired, whatever the things are. So now everybody is gagging, but the person who's really gagging, who's seething actually, because Shamea wears her feelings all over her mug. She doesn't know how to hide it. And this is an actress, by the way. Bitch, come on. Let's get it together. But she is like, she's looking down like a 3-year-old kid, sulking. She starts grabbing her drink. Everybody sees it. I had to get a drink. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. But they ignore her. Okay? Maybe Kelly starts rubbing her in the back. I don't know. But if she told Pinky and K Michelle, you bitches need to stop messing with people that don't fuck with me. You can only imagine the tension that Kelly must have felt sitting there, because Kelly never looks over. She never looks at her good friend Shamea, because she knows that Shamea requires loyalty, especially when it comes to Porsha. So now Porsha, I'm not going to say that Porsha didn't even put it on a little bit, because Porsha knows she can't trust that damn girl. But Portia's like, you know, I never want to have a fight with you. And just know that anything that you need, you can count on me. Call me if you need me, okay? I'm about sisterhood. I'm about forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Porsha is going on this damn Martin Luther King, Hosea Williams speech. Okay, I'm like, oh, Porsha. Now I can talk about both. I don't mind talking about both. But either way, you could see that every time Porsha spoke a syllable, it was like a hammer being hit over Shamea's head. Boom, boom. Shamea was sinking in her seat instead of saying, I'm proud of you. Or, well, if you is fucking with this one, and we know she couldn't stand your ass, then you and I should definitely have a talk later. Because if you can't do nothing else, Shamea, you should be able to address her and just say, this gives me hope. Okay, friend? I know, you probably don't, but we gonna. That was your time, and you could not take advantage of it, girl. And I could not. I'm sitting here like, could somebody please help Shamea grow a pair? And I'm not even going to say that, because like I said before, I think some of this shit is performative. I think that Shamea, I don't know if it was how she was raised. Maybe she's a baby in her family. I think she said she was a baby. Maybe that's just what happens to get her way. She learns that she's learned somewhere along the way that when she sulks, she's rewarded instead of just being straightforward, because she's not straightforward until she has to be. And then she wants to, you pushed me there kind of shit. Say what's on your fucking mind, girl. Say it. Porsha would have done that if it was her on the other side watching. She would have said, okay, if y'all can be cool, all I'm saying is I want a conversation. You owe me a conversation. She would have said it in a heartbeat. And that's what people like about Porsha. And that's what people can't stand about you, Shamea. At least those who can't stand you, we know that somebody who is a mother of the children you have, your mouth got to work. Your mouth got to work. And that's all there is to it. And that is what women are taught very young. Hopefully, if you have the right kind of mama, they'll tell you in a heartbeat, closed mouths don't get fed, and you are not going to walk out of my house and have me worry over you all the time. You got to learn how to talk and stand up for yourself. Okay? It is what it is. Okay? That's my feeling. That's what I can't. It hurts my heart to watch sometimes because she's not a child. If she was young, I would give her a pass, but she's not a child. Anyway, after all of that, after Porsha does rub it in just a little fucking bit, Porsha, again, Shamea still could have took it the other way. Shamea still could have taken it the other way, because Porsha said, I love me some sisterhood. I love me some forgiveness. Maybe she was saying, I'm open, bitch. I'm open to forgiveness. I'm open to sisterhood. At the end of the day, Shamea, the ball was in your court. You were the one who didn't invite her to your husband's birthday party. She invited you to her home. She invited you on this trip. The ball was in your court. And if you would have played your cards the right way, we wouldn't have even gotten to where we were at the end of the show. That's my opinion. Okay? But anyway, in confessional, Shamea says, why is it that she can forgive Kelly, but she can't forgive me? She can't forgive me. I apologize. She gave me the same I apologize speech that she gave to Kelly, the exact same one last year. Anyway, she ends up saying some shit like she doesn't think it's going to work out between Kelly and Porsha. Absolutely not. None of us thought so, but you're the only one at the table sulking, seething, and heartbroken. Very clear that you're heartbroken. Anyway, at the end of the day, like I said, Kelly got that boulder off her damn shoulder because she don't want to walk around trying to. Do y'all know how hard it is? Anybody who's alive, y'all know how hard it is to have a grudge against somebody, and every time you walk into a room in a friendship group, you got a mean bug, and you know what I'm saying? That shit, when you get at the end of the day, you be so exhausted, you ain't got it to give no more. You know what I mean? So for both Porsha and Kelly, all they were doing in this moment was saying, let's just call a truce. We're going to throw these white towels on the ground for now. Later, we might pick them back up. But for now, we're not going to do this. Okay, let's just have some fun. That's all they were doing, Shamea. They weren't committing to being best friends. But if they were, it wasn't Porsha that was doing all the sucking up. It was your buddy Kelly that was. And we'll get there. Okay? Anyway, second scene. Now the ladies end up leaving the lunch table and they are getting ready for their next outing, right? And we see Shamea call her mama. And I'm not even going to fault Shamea for calling her mama, because I would call my mama too. You know what I'm saying? I had a hard time with this one today. You know what I'm saying? Talk some life into me. Remind me that I'm your motherfucking daughter, because that bitch, she had me, you know what I'm saying? By the short and curlies. I just don't want I am tired. So calling your mama is soothing. So I don't even blame her for calling her mama. But you can tell that her mama has Shamea as that emergency number. And when it comes in, I don't care what she's doing, she need to take the call. Okay. And she is so used to Shamea crying. She wasn't even like, what happened, baby? You know what I'm saying? She wasn't like that. She was just like, oh, okay. She had half her face in the FaceTime and half her face cooking, waffles or whatever the hell she was doing. So I was cracking up at that. But Shamea is in tears telling her mom that she is not getting along with anybody, that nobody likes her, that, what else did she say? That she, instead of her saying that her new BFF let her down, instead of saying that Kelly let her down, she ends up just basically saying nobody likes her. Even when she apologizes, even when I apologize, nobody accepts it. And I do mean she was catching tears, like literally catching tears. And I was just like, damn, Shamea, I wish that you could just be honest with yourself, because if you would have just said, everybody seems to like Porsha, nobody seems to like me, And I want to squash the beef with her. What do you think, Mom? Should I bring it up? Mom might have encouraged you to do it, but you just didn't present it like that. You tried to present it like you were the victim of everybody, when nothing happened at that table that bad, and y'all literally just left that little game and bonding exercise where everybody had fun, and you forgot about it just that quick. You didn't, like, it doesn't take much for you to just be loop-de-loop, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, after all of that, we get a scene with Pinky and Kay. They have a sidebar about Shamea. And like I said, they were at that table too, so they knew something was up. And Pinky says to Kay, is everything cool between you and Shamea? Is everything cool? Because baby, I could sense it. My spidey senses tell me that something was fucked up between y'all. And Kay said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Shamea. I love that girl. I'm trying to be her friend. But she had the nerve to tell me last night, before she even knew clearly that Porsha and Kelly had a mano a mano. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even know that. But she said last night, she told me Kelly was her only friend. And I was like, what are you talking about, Shamea? Like, what did I do? But she said all that to her because she did not like that she had shared what she said about her mama. Your mama was in the club praying on me or whatever she said. And my friends don't want me to be friends with you. So I hope that you're not a snake. She didn't like that. And she said, I literally was like, girl, I stayed with her all night, half the night, trying to comfort and console her. And she wasn't giving me dick or paying my bills or nothing. And I was doing that for her. Look, Pinky said, what, girl? She said, hell yeah. She said, at this point, I don't know what else to do. It's like she wants to push me out of the clique. She wants me out. She told me in front of Kelly, Kelly's my only friend, not you, bitch. Basically, the way a 5-year-old would do on a playground. I don't like you no more. You didn't do what I wanted you to do. Now, Pinky knows that this is true because Pinky got a talking to the other night too. She definitely said to Pinky, don't bring my name up. Don't say about in front of these bitches. These women don't care about me. She did all of that to Pinky. And then, like, literally in the next breath, Pinky did it again because Pinky is a producer. She was on Maury Povich for what? I don't know, umpteen years. She said it was one of her favorite shows. She knows how to get these scenes going, and she's going to do it. She's trying to get them bills paid over there, okay? But anyway, Pinky knows exactly what it was. And she said, I don't know what's going on with Shamea. It's like she has a problem with everybody. And then after she makes that comment, Kay says, it's not what we think it is. It's something else. So Kay's not telling the business, whatever the business is, that Shamea has confided in her, but she's definitely letting the cameras know she is on one, and there isn't going to be anything that makes this okay. You know what I'm saying? There's something else that's going on with her that she refuses to talk about. And we've heard this already multiple times. We've heard Cynthia Bailey ask Shamea to her face, are you in therapy? Right? We've heard Pinky pretty much say the same thing. Shamea, is there any way, like, is there something else that is going on with you? So now we have now we have Pinky, we have K. Michelle, and we have Cynthia Bailey suggesting that there's more going on with that girl, and Phaedra, and Angela. They've all said it, and Drew. We know what we're doing on the show. We know what we're filming. Shamea's filming something else. And they said the same thing about K. Michelle. Bitch, when they say action, where do you go? Because you're not a part of the scenes that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing something else. So this is what's being said about them. Anyway, after that, we get a scene where the ladies are coming in with their luggage, and Pinky gets a call that she owes $20,000 to a vendor or somebody that she owes. And she starts bawling, like she got her shades on, but she is bawling. She said, baby, oh my God, I cannot keep this shit up. Money leaves my account faster than money comes in. Even though she's a multimillionaire, even though she filed bankruptcy and it was supposed to protect her assets, she is losing it. She's having a moment where she is down. And I have to say that for me, this was one of the realest moments that we got from Pinky this season. And I actually really like Pinky. In the beginning, I was like, that lady is like going back and forth. I don't know what her real personality is. Is she broke? Is she rich? What's going on? But now I get it. I get her a little bit more. I think that, yes, I think she does have these multi-million-dollar businesses. She's gotten herself into trouble for sure. But, you know, she has to talk to herself a certain way to do the job that she does every day. But she has these vulnerable moments. And in this particular moment, while the ladies are walking in with their luggage and seeing that she's breaking down, they're all there to comfort her. They're kissing her on the cheek, rubbing her shoulder, you know, rubbing her leg, including Angela, who said, bitch, you are broke, okay? Broke as a joke. You owe every bit in Atlanta and then some, okay? All you got right now is a bunch of bills. Even Angela, when Angela walks in to see Pinky crying, she stops in her tracks. She is sitting there like, what is going on? Because I think she was so shocked that Pinky was allowing herself to be vulnerable, because she speaks with a lot of bravado. You know what I'm saying? With, this is who I am. This is what I got. And for the first time, she got to see her not be that way, to actually be honest about it. And she literally just came over and said, it's just money, baby. You got to let this go. Like, you got it. But in confessional, Pinky lets us in on the fact that, listen, I made some bad fucking decisions, and it has, you know, disrupted my marriage. It's disrupted my relationship with my children. I damn near got divorced behind it. Hell, I don't even know if we still on the right track. Now, anything could happen. And we know that this relationship is really, you know, it's a shotgun wedding is what it sounds like. She said we damn near broke up. But then I figured out I was pregnant. We got married. So we really don't know how compatible they truly are, because we don't see enough of their home life, which might be good. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about their home life when they got all these other problems going on. The way Angela has let us in on her and Charles, you know what I'm saying? We got to see what they got going on right away, even though I do think that her and Charles is a good match. I think that they're good. But we don't know what Pinky and her husband look like. But she cries for a good 5 minutes. Everyone comes in. Everybody is showing her empathy and sisterhood and all the stuff. So it was a good moment to see. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on. So now all the ladies are getting in the Sprinter. And Porsha said, we ain't coming back to the castle until the night is done. Okay. So everybody bring your change of clothes, your wigs, whatever you about to do while we go outside, because we're not coming back. This is how we get down in Atlanta. I don't give a damn if we got to take a train, a plane, and an automobile. We don't come back to the house until we done partying. And that's what we're going to do now. Right. So they're in the Sprinter now, y'all. Did I talk about everybody? I think I talked about everybody. They're in the Sprinter now, and everybody's having fun. Everybody's talking. Porsha and Shamea are literally sitting right beside each other. They don't look like they can't stand each other. They're laughing at each other's jokes. They're looking each other in the eye when they're making jokes. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry. I read ahead. My bad. Anyway, when I get on this damn Sprinter, we see Kelly in the McDowell outfit. Okay, the hat with the M. Oh my God, if y'all ever watch Coming to America, y'all know there's McDonald's and then there's McDowell's, okay? They have the golden arches. We have the golden arcs. That, my girl Kelly is dressed from head to toe in the McDowell outfit, this plaid shit. And Shamea, not Shamea, and Angela said, "Oh my God, ever since Kelly got in good with Shamea and Gerald, this heifer has been working double time. You know, she's been working double time. I need her to get her head from up out of their ass, okay?" She said, "Bitch, clock out. You're on vacation. You don't have to make every moment about your bestie, your BFFFFFF, okay?" Anyway, I rewound that scene at least 100 times because it was it was funny to me. Oh my goodness, I have never laughed that hard this entire season. That shit was funny. Anyway, Kelly is sitting on this damn sprinter bragging about how she got this new man child. And Porsha, because you know, Porsha wants to show everybody, me and Kelly good now. She said, "New man? Who, what, when, where, what, how?" You know what I'm saying? What's his name? What's going on with him, right? And Kelly's like, "No, no, no, I'm not divulging that. I'm not divulging that. What you need to know is he's a Pisces, you know what I'm saying? We like all day, night, we getting it in. And he bought me these new teeth you got, $70,000. Now you have Phaedra. Y'all know Phaedra like to make that face like she's about to sneeze when she wants to look at you like, "Bitch, are you half crazy?" But she did this when she said he paid $70,000 for my mouth. And she said, "Bitch, were you raised by wolves? What is going on with you? Who in the hell can be as broke as you are and have a man offer you $70,000 and not take your ass down to the CVS and get some whitening strips?" Because Kelly's teeth were pretty before. I thought she had really beautiful teeth. Child, I don't know why people want to get the same mouth, the same face shape, that banana seat face. Listen, try to be an original. Y'all look good. Y'all look good out there. Your teeth look good, all of it. But Faye just said, "Bitch, you should have said, can I please get that, whatever it cost?" I think she said something like $69,772, please. $972. Can you give me that and I'll get these teeth fixed elsewhere? How do you not know how to use your hot pocket when a man is offering you 70K and that's all you got to show for it? Being homeless with a pretty smile, I mean, that's not going to get you nowhere, baby. You got kids, girl. Anyway, I'm going to say I don't blame Phaedra. I was asking the same question. The way Kelly has been all over this damn YouTube, all over this season. "Oh, they're not hard workers like us. Angela and Porsha, they like to lay on their back to get what they got." And when your good friend Shamea said that you needed to give that man 70 BJs, wasn't she asking you to lay on your back? If you're going to have to give somebody 70 BJs for 70K, you're definitely giving it to me in a check. I'm definitely going to deposit it and make sure I have a place to stay. You cannot be homeless and have a man give you $70,000. Just not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay? Anyway, she says all that. She jokes about it. Everybody, you know, takes it in stride. Nobody gives her any business at all. At all. Drew ends up sharing the side effects of her hysterectomy, child. She said, "Baby, I got to pee every 5 seconds, not to mention my pelvic floor hit the flow." My pelvic floor didn't hit my pelvic wall didn't hit the flow. And everybody's like, "What does that mean?" And then Phaedra have to give the ladies an anatomy lesson on their body parts, right? Here's the pelvic, here's the uterus, here's this, right? So she's doing all of that, and they're like, "What? I never heard of that." And she said, "Yeah, well, you know, you gotta get it in order to pick it back up." And Drew said that her physical therapist actually, you know, pushes hers in when she goes to her physical therapist. Now, Porsha's side of the bus, because they're all like in their own little corner talking, but Porsha's side of the bus, all of a sudden their ears perk up and they went, "What? What are you saying now?" And they're all making jokes. Angela's like, "Bitch, can I get a doctor's appointment? Is he taking new patients?" Like they all just stopped to lean in on this conversation, which was actually hilarious. But Yeah, that's a real thing. And Drew wasn't lying. That's how you push it back up. It's manual. So a doctor does it, or they will tell you to go home and get it in. Okay. But I just thought that shit was funny. Anyway, they make all of those conversations. What else? What else? What else? Porsha ends up being Porsha, and she starts talking about, well, you can do Kegels or Kegels, I think is how it's pronounced. And she starts teaching the ladies how to do the Kegels, right? Again, if you're paying attention, Shamea is laughing. She's making jokes. She was like, girl, I can't look you in the eye. You can tell that you can't tell there's anything going on. And according to Phaedra, when she was on Watch What Happens Live on Sunday night, she said that Cynthia and her had talked to Shamea earlier in that day, and just to gauge her to make sure she was okay. And she said, I just want to get through the day with no problems. I'm good. I don't, I'm not going to start no shit. So, okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, now we're at the fourth scene. In the fourth scene, the group stops at this boutique that make kilts. They have a whole educational moment about how the kilts are made, what plaids represent what's, country or wherever the group of people over there. Anyway, Porsha ends up buying everybody a kilt for the next event, like whatever you like. So you see some people with scarves, you see some people with jackets. So she was like, I'm going to get everybody something. So this is for Phaedra's birthday. I want us to have a good time. There's no animosity nowhere. But while Porsha's saying all this, who do you hear? Like everybody's like, oh my God, thank you, Porsha. But who's like overly excited during this moment? Anybody? Put it in the chat. I'll just tell y'all. It's Kelly. Kelly's like, oh my God, are you serious? Can we get anything we want? What's the price point? So Kelly is really doing maybe too much for Shamea's liking, because again, Shamea turns completely sourpuss while everybody else is having fun. And Porsha is like, drinking in the moment of this being her trip and everybody having so much fun. Kelly is like, bitch, somebody else paying for me? Yes, girl, we knew you liked people paying for you, even though you pretended like you didn't. This is Simon's house. You wish you had Simon's house. We knew it. We knew you was faking the funk. But anyway, she's giving a little too much. And Shamea, you can see her trying to reel her facial expression in. She ends up grabbing a couple of things and putting it on the counter while Porsha's paying. And she said, could you just, buy that too? And I don't have my wallet. I'll cash app you when we get back on the bus or whatever. And she was like, she does it to me all the time. But she's trying to act like she's being a part of the moment. Only she has to run off by herself. And y'all know there's a camera everywhere. The camera catches her and she looks back and sees that she is being followed by one of those cameras, and she looks sad like she usually does. She looks hurt. She looks like she's trying to figure things out, like she doesn't understand, like she doesn't know if her good friend Kelly doesn't like her anymore. All the things. She is very high maintenance. She very much needs reassurance all the time. She very much requires loyalty from one. Don't talk to her. If I'm not talking to her, you don't talk to her. She very much like Kelly when Kelly was making jokes and talking all big shit about Porsha. That was the one she liked. She does not like this Kelly. And she doesn't know what to say about it because she done already gave Pinky and K. Michelle their walking papers. Y'all crossed me. You crossed me, okay? I'm telling you, because I don't think that Porsha and Candy are close, but I think that they run in the same circles and they invite each other to their stuff. So, but I think I think in this moment, for me, Holly Berries, Shamea is paranoid. She is working from a place of paranoia because of what this glam team, whoever she brings up at the end, She's working from a place of paranoia, and paranoia will fuck your mind up. It will mess your mind up if you don't have the guts to ask the question. Ask the question. I fall under the sign, child, that makes me ask questions. I will not be the last to know. I will not be the last to know. I will stop everybody in their track. What the fuck is going on? Okay. But she doesn't know how to do that. She just gets paranoid. She loses her shit. But anyway, now we're at this last scene, y'all. The last scene, they arrive for dinner. And again, they are feeling good. The group is feeling good. They come in loud. This restaurant is expecting them, okay? These are the RHOA ladies. They are beautiful. They are wearing their furs and shit. They look like money. They look like they smell good as fuck. Walking in this restaurant, they look like they were the only Black people. But they're there. And everybody is looking at them, including the bartender who was up there doing his thing at the same time, looking at them ladies. Like, y'all fine. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell. You could just tell. So they come in bringing the energy. They are laughing. And Porsha is still in a generous spirit. She said, get whatever you want on this motherfucking menu, okay? The world is yours up in this spot, okay? If you was making fun of me spending Simon's money, then bitch, y'all can have anything you want. Anything you want is what she's doing, right? So now, if y'all wasn't paying attention to the seating arrangement, y'all know Kelly and Shamea typically sit side by side with each other, have been at all of the get-togethers for the most part, except for this one. This get-together, it is Kelly who is sitting beside Porsha, and Shamea is across the table, sitting in between Pinky and Drew Sidora. Okay? That was the first thing, because I was like, she don't even have her kick under the table, buddy. You know, you need somebody that you can pinch when something might be going left. So they really made Shamea vulnerable, sticking her across from Porsha. Porsha is sitting there, again, being the big motherfucking dog, the queen. Get what you want. And then you hear little Miss Kelly say, bitch, are y'all looking for a new girlfriend? Because I could get used to this, okay? And everybody starts laughing. But Kelly and Porsha really start laughing. I mean, falling all over each other, rubbing each other down, falling over each other. You know what I'm saying? High-fiving and clapping. And you see Shamea, once again, that bitch is done. Cooked, toast, put her back in the oven, okay? She is through. But everybody is happy because nobody likes to be in spaces with people that don't get along. So really the entire table is laughing at Porsha. And that bothers her too, because she wants to be that funny. You know what I'm saying? She wants to be able to make a joke that doesn't involve her, you know, humping the table or somebody's leg. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Okay. So they make those little ass crack ass jokes, child. And I actually was like, Lord have mercy, child. Lord of bees. You can see it. You can just see it all in her face. It was just unfortunate. Okay. Anyway, moving on. After Shamea is clocking the shit, you can see again, she's seething. She doesn't know where to be, who to be, what to do. And if you're paying attention to the scene, Porsha is feeling so good about everybody and everything. You can see moments where she's talking directly to Shamea. Like I saw her actually say Shamea's name to bring up something, right? So you just see her lips moving and she's like, Shamea, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, so she's not being, as people like to say, iced out. She's not being iced out. Everybody at the table is talking. Everybody's feeling good. Drew Sidora is talking about a record that she has coming up with Ray J. Okay. They're making jokes and having fun about that. What's her name? Pinky's singing. There's no reason for anybody to be in a bad fucking mood. Not one person. Not one person. Okay. Then you hear Drew Sidora say, "Well, Jal, let me ask Porsha a question because we get a flashback of Drew telling Porsha, 'I'm gonna meet up with your baby daddy in a little bit. We got to talk business.'" And Porsha was like, "Cool, whatever." And then now she's telling Porsha, "Hey, girl, let me tell you about your baby daddy. We met up." And Porsha has to, get her mind mentally prepared because she really don't want to hear shit about Dennis. That's where things can go left. So you already know that Portia's super sensitive to whatever might come out of Drew's mouth. She doesn't know what's going to happen here, but she also don't want to know. And she's like patting herself and straightening herself up because she's like, "Bitch, I done bought y'all gifts. I done told you everything's on me. We here in this beautiful place. The last thing I need is conversation about that motherfucking baby daddy of mine. Okay?" But Drew says, "Well, he told me y'all met up." I like Drew this season. I'm not usually a Drew fan, but Drew is giving everything for me this season, okay? But Drew said, "He told me y'all met up, and baby, he was wearing his heart on his sleeve, child. He said you kicked his ass out, told him to take that ring back, pawn it, give it to your new girlfriend, save it for the baby, whatever you want to do, but get it the fuck up out of here." And I didn't know what was going on. And she was like, "Mm-hmm." And then you hear Angela say, I think it's Angela anyway, somebody says, "Is he upset because you're dating Mike?" And Porsha said, "He might be. I don't fucking know. He might be, but possibly it's Sway." And now they're like, "Oh, because you're dating a woman." Yeah, because I'm dating a woman, right? Now, in confessional, Porsha says, "Listen, I don't want Dennis in my motherfucking business about anything that has to do with my dating life. I don't like it. I don't ask him questions about the bitches he date or whoever he's calling his work." I'm like, no, not Porsha with the his work, baby. She said, "I don't like him talking to me about his work, okay? Because I know that motherfucker can't keep it where it's supposed to be. That's the reason why we broke up in the first place." And quiet as kept, Porsha and Dennis still have chemistry. And she's already said at some point in this season, if it wasn't for Dennis, her knowing that Dennis could hurt her, I don't even want to feel that pain again. In other words, he hurt me so deep that I don't want to feel that pain again. And I would rather us just stay friends and co-parents than for me to ever explore us being partners. And that tells us a lot that there is, they have some chemistry that's unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she says at the end of the day, hold on, child, I done lost my damn place. She said at the end of the day, I don't want Dennis talking to me about no woman. Furthermore, we are good co-parents. However, she said the fact that he acts like he can't trust me with who I date, knowing I would never do Pilar like that. I am going to have to know you. I'm going to have to trust you before I ever bring you around my daughter. Okay? And she says this at the table. And when she does, baby, you see Shamea's, the wheels are spinning in her head. She literally is, she's like deep in this story that Portia's telling. And she's in it in such a way that like everybody else is looking at Porsha like, this is tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like they getting some juice. But Shamea is looking at Porsha like this when she's telling the story. And when she ends it with, I am very protective of my daughter. I would never let just anybody around Pilar. That's when Shamea like goes like this. She kind of leans back like, bitch. So again, this is clearly something that was bothering you. And it had to have been bothering you since the birthday party, since that baby girl's birthday party, way before filming even started again. And you could have said something then. You could have. Y'all have enough mutual people. Dennis is friends with Gerald. Y'all still have Candy in common. Y'all, Porsha's sister Lauren was still fucking with you. She was still sending messages on your account. I was paying attention because I was hoping, bitch, I'm a stranger and I had my fingers crossed for y'all. So with all of that stuff going on, hey, Belicious, welcome, friend. With all of that stuff going on, I honestly thought that that would be a good opportunity for you to talk. And even if you didn't, because we have seen Porsha get over the hump with so many people she had it out with, right? The doors closed, Nene Leakes. Now that's still my baby sister. Like, she has fallen out with many people, including her sister. She fell out with her sister on Porsha family values. Bitch, I don't want you over here no more. You, Lundy, all of y'all can kick rocks. She has said that to her family before. And at some point, they have come back together and been closer than ever. I just don't understand, Shamea, because when somebody's your friend, when you know somebody, because this can't be the first time Porsha and her have fallen out. She said, we've fallen out. We weren't so close. We got close again. It's the fact that she wants to bring this dirty shit to TV and then expect Porsha to just swallow it. I don't know. I don't know. For us, the audience, at least for me, I'm just not clear on what her agenda is. I don't know what her bottom line is here. Because if she really wanted to be that girl's friend, if it bothers her that they're not friends, the way she goes about things, just, it ain't curling all the way over. That's just not what you do. It's just not what you do. Even if you wanted to bring it to the camera, make it a one-on-one. Why would you do it in front of the group? Because that is a different level of exposure and bullshit. And that is what I don't get about her. So when Porsha says in her confessional, you knew what was going to hurt me and you went after me to motherfucking hurt me, I believe her. I believe her. Because she could have easily said all the shit she said in that message earlier today. Why? You know, we've seen Angela go after you and say, bitch, you fucking my neighbor. We've seen that. But it wouldn't have taken Porsha nothing to say, that's what she does. Neighbors, managers, ministers, child. She gets it in, okay? It would have taken her 2 seconds to imply it, say it, suggest it. She did not. When it was going down, she tapped Phaedra's knee like, bitch, that heifer got herself caught in a lie, okay? And she was referring to Angela. When they were falling out, Porsha ran up the steps, went into Shamea's room and said, baby, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. Make sure it don't happen to you again. And she walked out of there and went down and said, let's end it. Don't do this no more. That's friendship. Even if we aren't talking, I still respect you enough. I still want us to have a level of respect here where I'm not going to cross the line. And I don't want people to think it's okay to cross the line about you in front of me. So when K. Michelle or whoever was doing their dirty talk, I got up and went to the bathroom. I don't even want to be on camera making a fucking face. That's respect. Shamea's not doing the same. And that's what I don't respect about her. But she's in this moment now. Now the wheels are spinning. Oh, it's funny you should say that about not bringing certain people around your daughter, because, you know, Dennis was at the house and he told us, now there's where you're wrong. You had no right to tell her what Dennis told you. You had no right to do that. That is her baby father. You're just kicking up dust with her and her family. That is somebody she has to co-parent with. And she just said, he gives me problems with this. So at the very minimum, that is what you know should have been a private conversation. But here you are saying it out loud to the group. Your baby father was at our house because, you know, him and Gerald are still good friends, and I don't care. And he said that he's not allowed to bring Pilar to our home to play with our daughter because you don't trust me. And Porsha did not even skip a beat. She went, no, Not with the motherfucking text messages you and I were sending to each other. Okay? When I know someone has, and this is what she says, when someone has ill will for me, which Shamea did not correct, because she could have easily said, baby, not ill will. Now we fell out, but I don't have no ill will for you. I still wish you the best. I still love you. I still want. That was her moment to say those things because she was clear as day. When I know somebody has ill will for me based on the text messages that we sent to each other, bitch, the ones that everybody has been asking about, and I said to them, I'm not going to talk about private text messages I sent to Shamea because I know your ass have let other people read them. And they know what was in those text messages because nobody at the table can breathe now. They're literally all sitting there like, oh my God, what is about to happen? Because everybody at that table have read those text messages. Everybody. And so she said, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that right now. And that's when Shamea does what Shamea does best. She put on her superpower. I hate to think that you would think. I mean, I understand it's your daughter and you have to do what's best. But I hate to think that you would think I would hurt your daughter. And Porsha does this. Bitch, bye. I'm not even going to respond to this reaction because I know this is some bullshit. You know what my daughter means to me. You know how hard it was to get her here. She is one of motherfucking one. A miracle baby. Okay? I didn't even know I was pregnant because I was told it couldn't happen unless I had some sort of IVF or a surgery. So the fact that you know those things about me, we said the things that we said to each other, and here you go bringing this shit up. Because now I know you really don't want to be my friend. This is how we know Shamea doesn't want to be Porsha's friend. This is how we know Shamea is looking for a contract. I want season 18, and this is going to be what seals the deal. That is what this is. This is episode 14. They're damn near finished filming. Okay, we got one more episode to go before the reunion. Shamea is looking for her contract, and this is how she brings it with this scene right here, because let's face it, Shamea didn't give a shit all season. And if she would have just brought this up earlier in the season, we could have saw something different, but she refused. She refused, okay? But she says this to Porsha, and Porsha says in her confessional, she's using people and saying things she knows is going to hurt me. She knows how I feel about my baby. I am pissed, okay? It is as dirty, in my opinion, as what Britt Edie said when she said, bitch, why was your ass at the airport talking about shot o'clock instead of taking your ass home when you had called us down for a whole group meeting to tell us what the nurse did to your baby? I'm sorry I laughed at that. But when Britt did that in front of everybody, was it dirty? Absolutely. Absolutely. But she's doing something similar, which is, again, how we know that the bitch gives it as good as she gets. She just likes to cry a little bit when she does it and make people think she's wounded when she's not. She knows she's crossing the line. Okay? So she does all of that. Cool. Shamea looks over at Porsha. No, sorry about that. I got my messages messed up. Porsha goes on to say, the only person, because she wants her to know, don't take it personal, baby. The only person that I would trust to watch my baby if we were to fall out the way you and I fell out is my sister Lauren, which isn't a horrible thing to say, okay? This is true. Anybody who's a mama, they're not letting you're not letting your kids anywhere. Just never going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. I said this about Kiki Jabbar, the late Kiki Jabbar, and Tisha. Remember when they were going at it, calling each other all kinds of names? I remember I was on a live and Kiki lost it. And I remember somebody said, "Where's your baby?" And she said, she's over Tisha's house at a sleepover. And I hung up the live because I said, bitch, if you trust her to keep your child while you're calling her all kinds of names, you want that friendship back. You want that relationship back. And Tisha is allowing your daughter over there because she loves you too. It's unfortunate that everybody got involved in it. And she doesn't love you. And I don't care who came out and said what, who did an interview and said what. You don't let your kids in spaces where you don't trust the mamas, because how they feel about you is going to be how they feel about your kids, for real, for real. And that's all there is to it. Anybody knows that, especially us. Okay. It's not the history we grew up in on US soil. We know better. So she says the only person I'd let do this is my sister. And now Shamea wants to come up with a gotcha bitch moment, right? Oh, now I got you. Now, see, you're a liar, Porsha. Remember at the beginning of the episode when you told Kelly you thought of me as your sister? Bitch, I do. It was the same episode you said you thought that Porsha was going to whoop your ass in. And you was afraid to come, and that was the reason your husband didn't want to go. Absolutely. So she's not lying. You guys had gotten so out of pocket that you literally, it almost got physical. Y'all waited months before y'all started filming again, and she gave an olive branch to bring you over there. But you're talking about some old shit that's still sitting with you, and you act like you can't connect the dots. And for that, I don't like you, Shamea. I don't think that was cool. But you're making this big fucking deal. You said you thought of me as a sister. So which is it, Porsha? And Porsha is as cool as a cucumber. There was a time when I did think of you as a sister, but not anymore. I saw some shit last year that made me rethink that, Shamea. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. You know why? Because you told me when we were in Savannah that we would never let anything come over our friendship. You told me that you didn't want our mother's relationship to interfere with our friendship. Well, how did we get to your mother's friend relationship? How did you bring that into this conversation when this conversation about her child coming to your house, and really it was a trust issue, and you told her you didn't trust her the fuck either. You told all of us you didn't trust her multiple times, even with other people on the fucking show. You said it to Kelly. You told Kelly not to trust her. Bitch, I don't trust her now. I know you calling her Porsha, but you might want to back up, because Porsha, whoop your ass. Like, you have said that so many times through these episodes. It's almost shocking that you didn't get, rope-a-doped up, wrangled. But you are sitting there feeling real good about yourself. Real good about yourself, while everybody at this table is looking at you like you are half crazy, because nobody is understanding, or at the very minimum, everybody is trying to figure out, how did we get here? Because y'all had so much fun all day long. From the time your peepers opened, from the time your eyes opened, y'all had fun every step of the way. And now shit has just gone left. And K. Michelle is nervous, damn near. She's sitting there like, oh my God, Shamea. You can just see it in their face. Whatever they had all discussed with Shamea, how Shamea had probably plotted and planned it, they're just like, now's not the time, Shamea. You can see it in their face, like, Shamea, goddamn, don't do it here, child. There was times you could have done it, but not this time, right? But she does all of this. And then Porsha tells Shamea that she's lying, right? Shamea says something like, listen, why don't you tell people the truth? You're a fucking liar. You're a big liar. Just like you lied to Andy Cohen last year when you told him, Andy, didn't I ask for Shamea to be on the show? And Andy says, yes, you have. You've asked her to be on the show. And even after that, he looked at Shamea and said, Shamea, she would ask me all the time. They literally was asking me all the time to bring you on the show. Now, two things could be true. She probably did ask Andy Cohen to bring you on the show. Maybe that's something she knew you really wanted. And so she did it. But she still could have come to you, Shamea, and still said, girl, I know the inner workings of this motherfucking show. I know what it takes to do it. I know that they're going to use our closeness and our relationship against us. It has gotten the best of everybody on every franchise since the beginning of the franchises. Since the OC, nobody remains cool or close friends. That's just what it is. They are going to use our relationship against us. But Shamea, you have it all. You are a singer, a dancer, okay, a baker, whatever the fuck you are. You got the Hawks, you got movies. Just let this be my thing, because I don't want to break up our friendship. I don't think that was a bad thing to say necessarily. I know that Shamea is saying you're jealous of me and this is why you didn't want me here. But Shamea, now that we know a little bit more about you, it's clear to me that you let a lot of outside noise in your inside ears. You let other people dictate how you feel, how you think. You can't add anything together for your fucking self. That is the reason why in season 16, those newbies, Angela, okay, Kelly, Britt, that's why they always able to get the fucking best of you. Drew Sidora was able to get the best of you, even though you had been on that platform before, because it doesn't take much to fuck with your mind. And Porsha was the only one. Everybody, oh, she's seasoned. No, baby. She just was trying to protect the friendship. She just knew how to handle her friend, just like she knew how to handle her husband or even Dennis. Did she have some moments with Dennis? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, don't think that Porsha did not get Dennis in a corner. Like she said there, don't fuck with me and our family. We are finally in a good place. You know how easy it is for us to get off track. I'm cool with your mama again after I threatened to hit that lady with a whole lamppost. I don't want us to be out of pocket. And I don't want you and Drew Sidora having conversations about me that I'm going to be forced to discuss on camera. I don't want that. And I don't think that that is bad. I don't. Especially since it's all playing out exactly the way she said it. It is playing out the exact same way, girl. So this is what bothers me about Shamea. This is what bothers me about Shamea, because someone who doesn't know how to protect themselves can't protect friendships, can't protect their marriage, can't protect their children. She requires people to coddle her. She requires people to protect her. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. Anyway, she says that like she has said something, I'm about to tell you didn't want me on. And Porsha said, Shamea, you are a liar. You are a liar. And even now that you're actually here on the fucking show, see all these cameras? This is you, girl. You're here in the friend group. See the friend group? You're here. You're still a miserable bitch. That's probably what she wanted to say. You're still miserable as hell because you couldn't handle it. If anything, I was telling you the truth. I know who you are. And if this is true for everybody, there was a mentor of mine who said this to me. You don't love people for their strengths. You love them for their weaknesses. Okay? People can be strong and too fucking strong, but you love them because you feel like you have to protect them or you have to keep them a certain way, the way you would a puppy. Okay? And it could very well be that she loved you because she knew you was a weak bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're weak. And a lot of people love your weakness, Shamea, but there's a lot of people who also know that you got to strengthen. You got to get it together. You got to get that spine right. Your backbone is off, girl. And if that wasn't enough, Shamea goes in for the kill now, okay? You're a liar, and I let your ass get away with a whole lot of shit last season, but not this season. Just like you lied about our mamas, okay? When you made that post saying that my mama did something egregious to your mama, and Porsha is sitting there holding her fucking breath because she really is like, is this bitch about to do this? Yes, she is. She's about to throw in all her fucking chips. And she said it. But you didn't tell anybody, even though you wanted to tell everybody that my mama bought your foreclosed daycare. You didn't tell them that your mama tried, not that she did, tried to sleep with my daddy. You didn't tell him that. And Porsha said, you a fucking lie. Okay? You are a lie. And the truth ain't in you. Okay? But now everybody gasp. Shamea. Like everybody at the table, even if you thought you got your big one off, the reaction of every single person at that table should let you know that you crossed the line. You crossed the line so deep that I wouldn't want to be friends with you. You know what I'm saying? It would be the most surface level friendship, bitch. I would never tell you a secret worth anything because you don't turn people in like that. There wasn't anything that happened at that table that required that. Not one thing. And again, even though your brain is applesauce, you told us that friendship was so horrible that y'all was about to lay hands on each other. You said it. You said it first. Okay? So now Porsha is like, baby, and she might have been lying. I don't fucking know. I don't know. All I know is she said, bitch, you ain't going to talk about my mama and not get one the fuck off, okay? And I don't get one off on your mama. So after that, Porsha screams, you and your mama are some low down, dirty motherfucking snakes, okay? You are some snakes, you slither. And then she said, I already knew. Porsha started shaking her hand like this. I knew you was that type of dirty bitch. That is exactly how she's shaking her finger at her. I knew, and I had already asked my mama about you, bitch. I knew already. And now this stumped Shamea because once she delivered the atom bomb, there's smoke everywhere. There's colors all over the sky, baby. All you got to do is keep saying what you said. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep going. But now Shamea, she's not responding in a way that says she's ready for smoke. You know what I'm saying? It's like she delivered the bomb, but she was waiting for Porsha to react a different way. And that's what stumps her. You know, you got to go through all the scenarios. She went through all the scenarios, but she didn't think, well, what if the bitch is cool as a cucumber? What if she's as cool as a cucumber? Where's the knives? Where's the forks? Where's the plates? She didn't think about that part. So now she's just like trying to, match Porsha, but not really matching Porsha. Because Portia's like, bitch, you know what? I went home and I told my mama. I asked her about it. And now Shamea said, you asked your mama about it? What'd she say? What'd she say? To which I was sitting watching on my TV like, where's this conversation coming from? Because let me tell you something. If I said, your mama tried to fuck my daddy, you wouldn't get to say, I asked my mama about it. I wouldn't care. I would be like, I don't care what you asked your nasty, funky pussy steak. Whatever it is, mama, I don't care what you asked your mama. Who cares? I would never say, what your mama say? But she asked her, what did Miss Diane say? I'm curious. And Porsha said she was flabbergasted because it didn't happen like that. What really happened is your mama slept with your daddy's brother. Not tried to sleep. She said your mama did sleep with your daddy's brother. And your daddy's brother was dating my mama. at the time. So really, bitch, your mama's the nasty one, okay? Your mama's pussy's the one that's nasty. Because that's what's going on here. Y'all basically saying that y'all got some nasty mamas. You know what I'm saying? So they go back and forth like that. And I was just sitting there like, even though I was laughing my ass off because of Shamea, thank you for bringing this to the screen for this moment. I don't know what's going to happen to you next. But baby, that was funny to me. It was funny that you were asking questions. And I said, Shamea, if you don't get your ass up and leave or just double down on what the fuck you said, you don't have to play Inspector Gadget here unless you feel like your mama or daddy or wherever you got that story from didn't tell you the truth. Because like I said, it was a period of time where they had those big ass cell phones. You know what I'm saying? The big gray one that was like this. Okay. And the pages. So with all of that, girl, the fact that you had time to ask her what her mama said floored me. But when Porsha says that about Shamea's mama, she said, you a fucking lie. You lying ass bitch. Absolutely not. What was my uncle? Which uncle? What's his name? And Porsha, this is how you knew Porsha was lying about it. This is how you knew Porsha was lying about it. I'm sorry, Porsha. I do like you, but Porsha went, I don't know. She went, I don't know, like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? She raced her mind for a half a second to remember the name and could not, okay? And could not. So she said, I don't know. Baby, you could have said, listen, I'm still with you though, because at the end of the day, y'all were kids. Y'all were supposed to have been kids. You ain't even in grown folks' business like that. You know what I'm saying? So when she says, I don't know, that's when Phaedra frowns like, bitch, who is asking for names? What is going on here? And then Phaedra gets in confessional and she said, I don't give a fuck if his name was Jesus. That's not the right response, okay? When somebody says, my mama slept with my uncle, the response is, you a fucking liar. That's the only thing you say after that. Nothing else, okay? And she ain't lying. That's true. That is true. So I am cracking up because even here, Shamea, oh my goodness, the way you failed the mission all the way through. Huge failure. Fail. So now they are both basically just mudslinging again. Shamea said, bitch, I tried to spare you. I tried because of the stuff I know. But now Shamea is making this out to be the big secret. This is what I tried to keep from all of you. But now you guys see. Her and her mama slither, okay? Like mama, like daughter, the apple don't fall from the tree. She's doing all that kind of shit, right? I tried to spare you because I didn't want to embarrass you. Porsha went, embarrass who? Me? Again, that shit floored me. Porsha said, me? Embarrass me? You ain't embarrass me. If my mama did do that, which is a motherfucking lie, but if she did do it, that would be on her, not me, bitch. I'm not embarrassed. Gotcha. And you shouldn't have brought this to this table. No, you should not. So anyway, they go through all of that. After the name calling and all that shit, Shamea says, you are a liar. You are a liar. She gets up. She tells Porsha about the gossip. I know you didn't want me to be on this show because your glam team came and told me. Do you know how quick I would have went to Porsha with that shit in the first episode? I would have made that the foundation of our story. Porsha, what you got for me? Because according to your glam team, this is what was said. Immediately, Shamea would have been on top if she would have started there. But no, ma'am. She's saying this shit, and now all of it sounds like a lie, to be honest, because who sits on that? Why would you sit on that? Why would you be paranoid this entire time over that shit? Over somebody who gets paid $15, and I don't know what they get paid an hour. It doesn't matter. Somebody who is an employee of your house, because you have employees of your house. You have staff that works for you that should be signing confidentiality agreements and not telling your fucking business, even to your friends like that. And you should have actually told that person, whoever said it to you, thank you for your services. Don't come back over here no more. Because if you're talking about me, just like Porsha's mama said in season 16, beware of the motherfucking dog who carries the bone. Because that person carried a bone and literally made you lose your damn mind. But Shamea ends up getting up, crying, cussing, and fussing. Kelly is right by her side because, you know, she needs a place to stay, child. So she ain't going to sit there. So she got to go. But Pinky and K. Michelle said, not this time, baby child. You on your own, bitch. We don't know what's going on, but you are on your own. I'm gonna let you two walk out of here. And Shamea has got her fur coat and she is cursing and throwing curses over Porsha the entire time. Called her a fake ass bitch, a wannabe. You're broke. I know everything about you, ho. Don't make me but. I mean, shooting the whole time. And Kelly rubbing her arm, rubbing her damn back. I know. I'm sorry. You a good person. You a good friend. Okay. Giving her everything she needs. They make it out to the Sprinter man and she's looking in Kelly's eyes. I almost thought they wanted to kiss. I didn't know what the fuck that was. Why would she do that to me? Why? And she's like, I don't know. My mother and father have been married for 50 years. Why would she say that? For the same reason you said that about Miss Diana, child. We know that Diane, or excuse me, her name is Diane. We know that Diane was hot to trot back in the day. Ain't nobody shaped like that not going to be hot to trot. You know what I'm saying? But your ass wasn't supposed to say anything. Not the way you twerk on every motherfucking body. You hot to trot too. You are, girl. Anyway, after all of that, you see snot coming out of Shamea's nose, water coming out of her eyes. She lays her head in Kelly's bosom. You know Kelly don't wear a bra, not even in Scotland. She lays her head on Kelly's bosom, child. And they just sit out there crying. Because they're supposed to go to another event after this. This is an all-day party. After this dinner, they're supposed to go to another party. So they just sitting in the Sprinter band, I guess waiting for the rest of the girls to come out. Because the one thing she didn't do is ask production for a ride back to the castle. She's still in the cars. They're going to the next location. Now inside, Porsha said, bitch, did you see the fucking cold ass look in that heifer's eyes? She had the same look in her eyes that my ex-husband had. I was sitting across from a bitch who literally wants to do me harm. And until Shamea get that evil energy up out of her, I will never speak to her again. Okay? I said, you better recognize what that shit is. At the very end of the day, girl, you absolutely right. That was an evil spirit and you recognized it and you ain't gonna let that bitch come off you no more. And you better not, Porsha. Okay. Now she have already said that Shamea has crossed the line. Point of no return, will never be friends again. But one of them ladies had the courage to ask the question, do you think there's a way you'll be able to sit down and talk? And Porsha said, did you hear what she said about my motherfucking mama? Absolutely the not. Okay? Is never ever soon enough? If so, pencil me in. And that is how the episode ended. It was phenomenal. Okay? I really appreciate the fact that y'all came to work, even though y'all told a lot of lies. There was a lot of lies said. A lot of people are asking for the mamas to come on. I do not want to see Miss Diane, and I don't even know Shamea's mama's name, but Miss Shamea mama. I don't want to see y'all on Real Housewives of Atlanta going at it, child. Y'all bury that shit. Y'all found a way to bury it before Shamea brought that nasty ass rumor to the show. Y'all was still friends. Y'all hung out. Y'all said hello, goodbye at the very minimum. You spoke to each other's daughters. This was dirty dog shit. But it lets us know that Shamea has it in her, even though everybody said she was pushed to the brink. She wasn't pushed to the brink. She already knew what she was going to say. She knew what she was going to say before the season ended. She might not have started that way, but she definitely knew what she was going to say before the season ended because she wasn't giving anything. And she wants to be on this show. She's addicted to a camera. She's addicted, okay? So anyway, that's it. Porsha's addicted too. I don't want to take anything away from her. Porsha like being in front of the camera too. But you got two people who have a lot of the same goals, a lot of the same energy, and they're close in age. They compete. They do that. That's who they've always been. And if sometimes the audience would just let things unfold instead of feeding, because there's sometimes people get way too involved in the comments. Shamea is one of them. Shamea said things that she thought appeased the audience. And so she's looking for her villain era, but she also don't like being the villain. She doesn't like it at all. At least with Kenya, when she said, bitch, listen, what do you need me to do? The villain, I'll be it. I don't think we saw tears come out of Kenya's eyes until she was at least I don't think we ever saw Kenya. I don't ever remember when Kenya started crying. I think it had something to do with her mama, baby, maybe. But when it was with the girls, she would never, okay? She knew how to play the role. And I loved it. I loved it. But anyways, y'all, you guys are amazing. Thank y'all for coming over and hanging out with me for all of these hours, child. We've been on for a good 2 hours, but I had to say what I had to say. What are you saying? She would leave the show if her husband is rich. Yep. Y'all heard me at the beginning. You heard me at the beginning. The one thing you will not tolerate when you got money and free time is nonsense. You're just not going to do it. And this is nonsense. Okay. That's it. But you guys are amazing. Thank y'all for hanging out. 330 of y'all are here. Oh, I forgot to do the poll. Let's get the poll one more time. Let me do the poll first. My bad. I asked, whose side were you on? Are you on Porsha's side or are you on Shamea's side? And 64% of y'all said you are on Porsha's side, while only 36% said you are on Shamea's side, okay? And of course, I know I'm going to get attacked in the comment section when people come watch the replay, because damn, I don't know. People be finding me, child. Anyway, I don't mind. Say what y'all got to say. They make way too much money for us to be butthurt about anything they got going on. Let the shit play out. Maybe they'll find their way to each other again. Maybe not. We don't know. But anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. Anyways, you guys have been amazing. Thank y'all for coming over and hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, share this video. Follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. Until the next one, bye-bye. See you guys.